Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about some books that I want to read during the winter months. And now this is kind of a winter TBR, but think of it more like these are the supplementary books. So these aren't the books that I'm necessarily focusing on in December or January, but they're the books that I'm going to try to squeeze in between the books that I'm planning on reading for those months. I hope that makes sense, because it's not like these are my main focus. These are just some books that I think will be really good for the winter season, and they've been on my shelves in my TBR for a really long time, so I'm trying to get through them a little bit more. I'm trying to get through some of my books a bit better. I'm trying to be better about that. So I kind of went through my shelves looking for wintry books that I felt like would be good additions to the books that I'm already planning on reading during the winter months. So since they are more supplementary books, I only have 7 books here. I didn't want to overwhelm myself because, again, this isn't like an actual full-on TBR. These are just books that I'm trying to kind of remind myself about and stick them in places when I can. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you what they are, tell you a bit about them, and that's it. That'll be the video. So first up is Let the Old Dreams Die. This is by the same author who wrote Let the Right One In. I am not going to try to pronounce this because I need to remind myself how to say this author's name. This is a short story collection, and the reason I picked this one up is because there's actually a story in here about Ellie and Oscar from Let the Right One In, and it's like following up on what happened to them after the book ends, and I was immediately excited about that because I am a big fan of Let the Right One In. I'm a big fan of Ellie and Oscar. I feel like everyone knows that, but I really wanted to read this because I just wanted more of Ellie and Oscar from Let the Right One In. So when I found out there was a short story kind of following up on them, I got really excited. The other reason I included this is just because this author, he writes the best wintry atmosphere, in my opinion. When I think of winter and snow and icy cold, you know, that kind of feeling, I think of his writing, probably because of Let the Right One In. And his covers always have a snowy scene on them. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it'll be really good, and I'm excited to see the other short stories in there. But it is kind of a chunkier book, but I do think it will be good. The next book is Message Not Found by Dante Medema. So this is a very interesting plot. I bought this a while ago. I really did buy this a while ago, and I really like the cover. I think it's really pretty, and again, very snowy, and I don't know, just kind of fits the vibe where I'm trying to read snowy, creepy, cold books. I don't know, that's kind of weird, but this is a YA story, and it's basically about these 2 best friends. And one day, one of the friends, she's driving home from the other friend's house, and she drives off this cliff, and the cliff is nowhere near where she's supposed to be driving home to. So the other friend is grieving terribly, and what she does is she uses this bot to upload texts and pictures and all this kind of social media and stuff to the bot, so the bot can be similar to her friend. So she can speak to the bot. It's talking to her friend, right? So it's a grieving thing for her. But things start popping up, the bot starts kind of showing that maybe there were some things that she didn't really know about her friend. And I think this sounds very interesting. It kind of reminds me of the movie Her. I don't know, it just that AI thing, it just reminds me of that. And so I'm kind of interested in this. I know YA can be hit or miss sometimes, but I always really enjoy trying YA, so I think this one could be really, really good, and I am excited about it. The next book is also a YA, and that is 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. I've heard a lot of like mixed things about this book. I've seen a lot of people like enjoy it, and then a lot of people say that it's just not very good. So I do know that there is kind of mixed reviews about this one. It is YA, so I'm not overly surprised by that. This is about the main character who's trying to go home for the holidays, but she gets stuck at the airport because of a blizzard. And the person that she was sitting next to in the flight comes up to her and tells her that her and her friends are renting a car to drive home, and she's welcome to join in. So she gets in the car with these random strangers that she doesn't really know, and you know, not only are there bad road conditions and weather conditions, like I think things start disappearing, people are lying, you know, that kind of thing. It sounds a little bit like No Exit and like Survive the Night mixed together. I think it sounds really good, but I do know that the reviews are very mixed. I just really like snowy, isolated thrillers and horror, so I am willing to give this a try and see if I find it enjoyable. The next book is also a YA, I believe. I don't know how that happened. I didn't mean for that to happen, but this is Cold by Mariko Tamaki, and this is like a murder mystery, but also like kind of a ghost story. I think that's what the plot makes it sound like. So it kind of sounds like this might be a dual POV kind of story about the boy that is found murdered naked and just in the cold. He sees himself hovering over his body, and so he kind of like starts replaying the events that led to his death. And then you have the other POV, which is about a girl who went to school with the boy that was murdered, and she's like fascinated by it, probably because they were both like outcasts and they didn't really have like friends. And so yeah, I think she just becomes like kind of enamored with the case. That's what it sounds like. So I'm not quite sure what to expect from this one. Again, I've had this on my TBR and on my shelves for a really long time. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this. At least I don't remember hearing anyone talking about this one. I don't know if anyone's liked this or not, because I really don't know. I haven't heard anything about this, but I think it sounds like a lot of fun, and it is pretty short, so I do want to give it a try. Next up we have a classic, and you're all probably gonna laugh because if you know me, you know I don't really get along with this author very well, but I will explain why it is on my TBR. Misery by Stephen King. So we know I have a love-hate relationship with Stephen King. I want to love his books, I really do, but they're usually just too long and too dense and too boring for me, and I don't really ever get along with his writing that well. Like, there are some that I've really loved. Most of the time I don't enjoy his writing. I do love like the movie Misery. I do love the movies based off of his books. So I did want to give this a read. 1, it is fairly short. 2, I've had it for so long, and this is the only Stephen King I have like in my possession to read. Like I don't really buy Stephen King anymore because I just know I won't really read his work. So this is the only one that I've kept on my TBR, like my physical TBR, that I do kind of want to try. I have heard this one's really good, but everyone told me that about a lot of his books and I didn't agree, so I'm iffy about it, okay? I'm very iffy. I do enjoy the story of Misery. I do love the movie, so I am interested to see what this is like, and I've had it I think for a year now, so I do want to try to get it read and either love it and keep it or hate it and give it away. So yeah, I am trying to get this off my TBR. The second to last book on my list is Bone White by Ronald Malfi. So we know I do love Ronald Malfi. Come With Me is an excellent book by him. I'm obsessed with that book. So I have been trying to read more by Ronald Malfi. This is the third book I will be reading by him, and the only other one that I own physically besides Little Girls, I believe, which I read a few months ago and didn't really care for. So I'm hoping this one will be more like Come With Me in how I felt about it. This is about a mass murderer who is leading police to the bodies of his victims in Alaska, and the main character sees this, and that's the same area where this mass murderer is leading the police to. It's the same area where his twin brother mysteriously vanished. So he decides to travel back to that town in Alaska and try to come to some kind of terms with his grief and kind of put it to rest. But when he gets there, he starts realizing there's some weird things going on in that area of Alaska. So I'm really hoping I like this one more than Little Girls. I'm hoping this one feels more like Come With Me, and I'm just excited to read more Ronald Malfi because I do enjoy his writing a lot, and I am interested in checking out more of his stuff. I do have Snow on the way to me. That's probably going to be part of my December TBR though, so that's why I'm not including it in this one. But yeah, I'm excited to give this one a try. The last book on this list is Breathless by Amy McCulloch. So this was a book of the month pick a while ago, like a few months ago honestly, and I was kind of waiting for winter to pick this one up because it does sound like something I would really love to read during the winter time. It's a isolated, snowy thriller, which is always really fun for me. This is about a journalist who travels to this mountain to interview this mountaineer, and while they're there, a climber dies, and then it's like really suspicious and other things happen. I don't really know, I'm gonna be honest. I barely read the plot. I just like it because it's a snowy, isolated, you know, thriller, which is all I really care about when I want to know what it's about. So I don't really know what I'm getting into with this one. I don't remember hearing people talk about it. I don't remember if people were saying that it was like average or if they really enjoyed it. I really don't remember. I really wasn't paying attention, I don't think, but I think it sounds like fun. It'll be a thriller, so it'll be a great like breakup book between like horror and just like other kinds of books that I want to read. So I think it'll be a nice like just filler book. And there you have it, my friends. That is my winter TBR, my winter reading plans. I mean, it's not very concrete. Like I said, these are more like supplementary books, more filler books. They're not my main TBR. They're just the books that I'm gonna try to shove in there when I have a when I have a break between other books that I really want to read. So I am excited to get to these though. Like I said, a lot of them have been on my TBR for at least a year or so, and then some of them I've just been waiting for the winter time. So I am excited for all of these except for Misery. I'm gonna be honest, Misery is the only one that I'm not like overly thrilled for, but that's just because I know me and Stephen King don't get along very well, so me anticipating hating it. So let's hope I don't. If you've read any of these books, please let me know. I know some of you have told me you've read some of these in the past, but I don't really remember if anyone liked them. I really can't remember. So let me know if you've read any of these, if you liked them, if you hated them. Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on any of these books in particular. I can do, you know, a reading vlog or whatever. So just let me know if you're really interested in one of these books and I can make that happen. But other than that, let me know what is on your winter TBR. If you're planning a winter TBR or if you're just kind of winging it, you know, you can just let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this quick and easy winter kind of TBR, give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy videos. That way I can keep providing you with videos that you actually do like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, all that fun stuff. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!